Hello gamers! Today I bring to you Folly of the Wizards. Folly of the Wizards bursts onto the scene today as a comedic 2D roguelike action game that thrusts you into the chaotic shoes of a clumsy wizard apprentice navigating a wildly eccentric wizarding cult. And from the moment you launch the title, its hand-drawn cartoon aesthetic and irreverent tone make it feel like a love letter to both classic arcade spellcasters and modern indie roguelikes. The core story follows a hapless young mage who, after a spectacularly disastrous initiation ritual, is tasked with saving the world from an impending demon invasion. A premise that feels simultaneously familiar and fresh, because the narrative leans heavily on self-deprecating humor, absurd dialogue, and a cast of over-the-top mentors who constantly tease the player's lack of magical finesse. You quickly discover that success isn't just about blasting enemies. The game rewards quick reflexes, clever thinking, and a surprising amount of social maneuvering as you must balance your relationships with the elite wizards, decide whether to befriend them for powerful allies or defy them and risk their wrath. This blend of spellcraft and social skill sets Folly of the Wizards apart from many roguelikes that focus solely on combat. Gameplay revolves around choosing one of 4 distinct wizard archetypes, each with its own strengths, weaknesses, and quirky spellcasting quirks. One might specialize in rapid-fire elemental bolts, another in summoning mischievous familiars, a third in defensive barriers that double as comedic props, and the fourth in chaotic area of effect curses that occasionally backfire in hilarious ways. The procedural generation engine ensures that each run presents a fresh labyrinth of rooms, traps, and bizarre enemies. From sentient spellbooks that argue with you mid-battle, to demonic pastries that explode into sugary shrapnel. The spell system is deep yet approachable. You collect spell fragments and relics that allow you to create unpredictable combos. Imagine pairing a fireball with a wind gust to launch flaming tornadoes, or coupling a shield spell with a pet wand that summons tiny dragons to protect you while they chew on enemy projectiles. The game also introduces a social meter that tracks your interactions with NPC wizards. High rapport unlocks exclusive spells and hidden shortcuts, while antagonistic choices can trigger surprise ambushes or even alter the layout of later levels, making replayability hinge not just on gear, but on personality. Feature-wise, Folly of the Wizards offers multiple endings that reflect the cumulative impact of your social decisions. A robust item pool that includes whimsical artifacts like the Rubber Duck of Resonance, which amplifies sound-based spells, and a soundtrack that blends chiptune melodies with orchestral flourishes, reinforcing the game's comedic yet epic vibe. The developers have also baked in a polished tutorial that, despite occasional loud sound effects, clearly explains core mechanics without overwhelming newcomers. Controller support is smooth, with responsive inputs that make dodging enemy attacks feel satisfying, and the game runs well on both PC and consoles, scaling graphics gracefully for lower-end hardware. Having spent some hours delving into its ever-shifting dungeons, my overall impression balances admiration with critique. On the positive side, the game's spell combination system shines brilliantly. The freedom to experiment with dozens of spell fragments and relics creates moments of genuine delight when a seemingly ridiculous combo suddenly becomes a game-changing strategy. turning a dire encounter into a triumphant fireworks display of magical chaos. The humor lands consistently, and the social mechanic adds a refreshing strategic layer that encourages players to think beyond raw damage output. On the negative side, the learning curve can feel steep for newcomers who are unfamiliar with roguelike conventions. The sheer variety of spells, items, and social options sometimes overwhelms, and the tutorial, while thorough, suffers from occasional audio imbalances that make it hard to hear crucial instructions, potentially leading to early frustration for those expecting a more gentle onboarding. Nonetheless, once the initial haze clears, the game rewards perseverance with a rich tapestry of content that keeps each run feeling fresh. In sum, Folly of the Wizards arrives as a vibrant, laugh-filled addition to the roguelike genre, delivering a compelling mix of fast-paced combat, inventive spellcraft, and surprisingly meaningful social interaction. Its quirky storytelling and hand-drawn visuals make it instantly memorable, while its depth ensures that both seasoned roguelikers and newcomers willing to embrace its chaotic charm will find plenty to explore. If you enjoy games that let you wield magic with a wink and a grin, and you're ready to navigate the social politics of a wizard's cult as much as you are to dodge fireballs, this title deserves a spot on your library. Just be prepared to invest a little time in mastering its delightful, if occasionally noisy, learning curve. Now that you know more about this game, use the links in the description of this video to get your copy.